45 minutes, the sun will be up and you're going to wake up and notice the temperatures. Well, they're comfortable once again. 63 here in Chattanooga. You can see where that cooler air is located over eastern Tennessee, back into the Carolinas. Much warmer out to our west. I mean, look at Tulsa and Dallas waking up in the upper 70s. So we'll definitely take this cool, comfortable air that's situated over the Tennessee Valley. It's 55 in Athens. You might even need a light jacket if you're in Blue Ridge, Murphy, Dalton, Cleveland, even up into Dayton, where temperatures are much cooler in the 50s this morning. Here in and around the city, though, we're in the 60s generally, and by this afternoon back to the 80s. So if you like the weather Saturday, you'll love the weather on Sunday as well. I know I said that earlier, but I mean, it's going to be almost identical. Sunshine, few passing clouds, temperatures back in the low to mid 80s. Going to be another day, low humidity, really can't beat it. But if you are heading out to western North Carolina, be aware there will be some fog around, especially into Cherokee County, down into Fannin County in North Georgia as well. Visibility less than a mile certainly will be possible. So again, if you're heading in these areas for a nice mountain day, just keep in mind you want to use those low beams. You might want to take it a little easy, but other than that, no issues here across the Tennessee Valley, weather related at least on this Sunday morning. But we are tracking Tropical Storm Fiona. We talked about this yesterday, and it's now battering portions of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic with very heavy rain. This is actually expected to be upgraded to a Category 1 hurricane a little bit later today. Now, the good news is the latest forecast guidance has this going back out to sea, but strengthening to a potential Category 2 storm. Now, this isn't going to have a direct impact to the U.S., but there will be some rip currents along the Carolina coastline all the way down into Florida. So if you're heading into these areas, especially next week, just be mindful there are going to be a little bit of issues, especially offshore. But this is our 6th named storm of the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. Again, at the beginning of the season, we were thinking it was going to be super active like the last couple of seasons, but fortunately things have been relatively quiet. So we'll continue to keep you updated on Fiona, but the good news, of course, we're not going to have any impacts here in the Tennessee Valley or really across the southeast for that matter. It's going to be dry as this surface high pressure continues to strengthen. This is going to dominate our weather pretty much through the next week or so. We're going to really start to heat up Tuesday. You'll notice those temperatures start to bump into the 90s, especially out to our west. Places like Memphis could potentially hit the triple digits. It's not going to be quite that hot here in the Tennessee Valley, but still, we will be dealing with that heat, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Thursday as temperatures return to the 90s. But here's a look at that rainfall over the last 5 days. Again, you noticed over the last week, we've had pretty much no cloud cover, no rain, and that's a trend that's going to continue. And over the last 5 days, you can see where that high pressure has been in control as dry conditions have pretty much set up shop across the entire southeast. And check this out. This is your futurecast rainfall. No rain expected at least through next Sunday. So we're looking at 2 straight weeks of dry weather, which is fairly common this time of the year. September into October is typically our drier time. So kind of to be expected to have these dry snaps. And here's a look at your rainfall. Again, for September, rainfall, and across much of the southeast we've been pretty wet. In fact, for the year, nearly 5 inches of surplus here in Chattanooga. So this 2-week period of dry weather certainly isn't going to hurt us as we have had plenty of rain over the year. But here's a look at your highs, again back in the 90s, and then there's going to be a cold front Friday into Saturday. So keep in mind the first day of fall, of course, is Thursday. It's still going to be in the 90s, so it's going to be hot. But notice right after that, we are going to be dealing with that cold front, so it will be a lot cooler. So fortunately, if you're not a fan of the 90s, well, you only have to suffer through them a couple of days because, of course, Angela, it will be cooler.